Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news. The NFL landscape is always shifting, and right now, one of the most intriguing rumors swirling around involves the Cincinnati Bengals and their star wide receiver T. Higgins. Reports suggest that Higgins might be headed to the Steelers, and if it happens, it could be a game-changer for Pittsburgh's offense and their overall championship aspirations. Now, I know this sounds like pure speculation, but the sources are pointing to a pretty significant move. Higgins being traded to the Steelers in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft. That's a bold move by the Steelers' front office, and it signals their serious intent to bolster their receiving core and push for a deep playoff run. Let's break down what this potential deal would mean for both teams, and more importantly, for the Steelers. The Bengals, currently sitting at 3-6 with a struggling defense giving up an average of 33 3-points per game, appear to be in a rebuild mode. They're prioritizing cap space, with about $11 million left, and focusing on extending their key receiver, Chase. Higgins, a player with hands of steel and proven production, offers a lot to a team like the Steelers, who are sitting at 5-4 and desperately trying to stay in the playoff hunt. Higgins could inject a new level of speed and explosiveness into Pittsburgh's offense, opening up running lanes and creating a more lethal red zone threat. It's not just about adding yards. It's about transforming the offense into a more dynamic and unpredictable unit. Higgins has been a consistent performer for Cincinnati in 2025, despite dealing with some injuries that limited him to just 9 games. In that span, he recorded 32 catches for 481 yards and 6 touchdowns, averaging 15 yards per reception and 53 yards per game. His contested catch rate sits at 50%, and his YAC, yards after catch, averages around 4.1 yards, making him a reliable target in clutch moments. Over his career, Higgins has amassed 362 receptions for over 5.0 yards and 40 touchdowns, showcasing his ability to be a reliable alpha when healthy. His route running is comparable to some of the best in the league, with a PFF grade of 76.5, ranking him around the 23rd best among wide receivers. Despite some injury setbacks in 2025, Higgins still demonstrates elite hands and route-running skills that could elevate the Steelers' passing game. Now, I know what some Bengals fans and analysts might be thinking. They're looking at the cap space, which is around $11 million, and focusing on the extension of Chase as their priority. That means Higgins could be available for trade, especially as Cincinnati is trying to rebuild their offensive line after giving up 300 points in recent games. The Bengals are also focused on freeing up cap space, and moving Higgins makes sense in the context of a rebuild. Pittsburgh, with about $15 million in cap space, sees this as a perfect fit, especially when considering their need for more depth at wide receiver. Adding Higgins wouldn't just be about immediate production. It would be about long-term impact, giving the Steelers a potent duo alongside George Pickens, with the potential to combine for over 2.0 yards and a significant increase in EPA, expected points added per target. The numbers tell an impressive story. Pairing Higgins with Pickens could turn Pittsburgh's offense into a scoring machine, raising their points per game from around 23.6 to closer to 27. That's a huge jump, and it could be the difference maker in tight games that the Steelers traditionally excel in. Defensively, the team benefits from having a more potent offense, giving them more time and possessions to get stops, creating a positive feedback loop. Harris's YPC, yards per carry, has been trending up, and with a more explosive passing attack, defenses will have to respect the Steelers' options everywhere. The red zone efficiency could see a plus 25% boost with Higgins' ability to make contested catches and work in tight spaces, a trait that Pittsburgh's offense could leverage to turn more drives into touchdowns. And let's not forget the playoff implications here. The Super Bowl odds have been fluctuating, but if this move happens, betting lines could shift dramatically, from plus 1,500 to plus 600, making the Steelers a much more attractive contender. Higgins' knack for red zone work and his ability to win against man coverage make him an X-factor in high-pressure situations. Teams will have a tough time containing both him and Pickens, especially when the Steelers spread the field and attack vertically and underneath. This duel could redefine what Pittsburgh's offense is capable of, especially in the postseason, where every play counts. Now, some might argue that Cincinnati has the upper hand in this situation, with a clear rebuild underway and the focus on extending Chase. But the Steelers are thinking long-term. They're looking at the big picture, building a roster capable of competing now and in the future. They see Higgins as a perfect fit, both in terms of talent and scheme. His skill set complements what they're trying to do, stretching defenses and creating mismatches. The Steelers are optimistic about making this happen because they know that Higgins' addition could be the missing piece that pushes them over the top, especially in a division as competitive as the AFC North. This potential trade also signals something about the Steelers' overall strategy. It shows they're not just content with patching things up. They want to make a bold statement. Bringing in a player like Higgins, especially on a relatively manageable cap hit, could be a signal to the rest of the league that Pittsburgh is serious about contending and not afraid to make big moves. It's about adding the pieces that can make the difference in close games in the playoffs, and ultimately, in chasing that elusive seventh Super Bowl trophy. Looking at the broader picture, if Pittsburgh pulls this off, it could redefine their season. They'd have a weapon capable of taking over games, something they've been missing at times this year. Higgins' ability to make contested catches and win in the red zone aligns perfectly with what the Steelers need: more explosive plays, better situational football, and a more confident offense that can keep pace with the league's best. It's a move that could solidify their offense for years to come, giving them a real shot at knocking down the door in the postseason. And as always, the AFC North is a battleground. The Bengals, Ravens, and Browns are all fighting tooth and nail, and a move like this could tilt the scales. The Bengals' rebuild and cap constraints might force them to part ways with a key player like Higgins, and the Steelers are ready to pounce. This is a franchise that has always valued smart, aggressive moves, whether it's drafting, free agency, or trades, and this potential deal fits perfectly into that philosophy. It's about seizing opportunities, making strategic investments, and building a team that can challenge for championships year after year. So, Steelers fans, keep your eyes peeled. If this trade goes through, it's going to send shockwaves through the league. It's the kind of move that could define the next chapter of Steelers football, making them even more dangerous and formidable in the AFC. And honestly, it's exactly the kind of move that could help them finally get over the hump and bring home another Super Bowl trophy. The road to glory is always tough, but with players like Higgins in the fold, the Steelers are sending a clear message. They're all in on winning big, and they're not backing down from the challenge. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. This is a story that Steelers Nation should be paying close attention to. The potential of adding T. Higgins is not just about one player. It's about changing the dynamic of the team, elevating their chances of making a deep playoff push, and ultimately returning to the Super Bowl stage. It's about building a roster that can compete with the best, and right now, the Steelers are positioning themselves to do just that. With their current roster, the addition of a player like Higgins could be the final piece needed to turn a good team into a great one. The next few weeks will be critical, and if this trade happens, it will be one of the biggest stories in the NFL this season. So, Steelers fans, get ready. We're on the cusp of something exciting, and I promise to bring you all the latest updates as they develop. Make sure you stay tuned, keep cheering loud, and let's hope this bold move becomes a reality. Because if it does, the Steelers' future looks brighter than ever, ready to make noise, challenge the AFC elite, and chase that seventh Lombardi. Remember, this team is built on resilience, passion, and a relentless desire to win. And with Higgins potentially joining the fold, the sky's the limit for what this Steelers squad can achieve. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates. So stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news.